We do not need the luck. We do not need the hard work. We don't need neither of those things. What we need is something different. It's something that is way, 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 way harder to actually harness. Way, way, way harder to actually achieve or develop, if you will so. Because guess what? If you're about to become rich, and if you're shooting and putting all of your hopes on, hey, winning the lottery or, becoming lucky, of course, that is part of the game. That is part of the game. Every single one of us who are doing anything, if we're doing it enough times, then we will eventually have a very, very, very fat pitch, a very, very successful pitch, if you will so. When we are just, hitting the ball and it will be just like home run. So guys, we don't need that. Because guess what? If you're out of nothing, you're just winning the lottery, then you will be freaked out. Like you will be depressed. Just think about that. You don't know how to manage wealth to begin with. All of your friends and every single person around you will just simply somehow out of the sudden will turn. You will not know who's your friend and who is not. You're not used to that. You have not been building that thing, and this is what is happening. With many young stars who are just getting fame out of pretty much nothing. Many people just can't handle it, and all these very, very dark stories of suicide and all that stuff. But we are not here to talk about this. But we are here to talk about something that is way, 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 way deeper, and is something that is way, way, way more important than that. And so that, my friends, is nothing else than self-trust. And so guess why? When I have self-trust, when I know that I have the self-accountability, like if I would have, the hardest ass coach, sitting on my shoulder every single time of the day and just telling me that, hey man, you're not enough. You'll be making 2 more cold calls. Hey man, you're not enough. You will be running 1 more mile. Hey man, this was not enough. You know better. You will be playing 2 more songs. And so when you have like a coach, sitting on your shoulders like this, just imagine that, then you can eventually get better. But the problem is that most of us do not have that coach. Most of us do not have the ability to allow, and especially in the beginning of our journeys, to have a coach like that. So therefore, we have to become our own coaches. And at the end of the day, you can just think about these guys, these crazy beasts, like, for example, Kobe, like, rest in peace, but, LeBron James and all these runners. I love runners, brother. Like Kipchoge, like that guy, like ran a marathon under 2 hours. It's like crazy. Those guys, of course, they do have coaches, but those are the guys who like they don't really care about the coach. Like they exactly know what the coach would tell. They just like pushing and pushing and pushing up until the point that it's like nothing. Like there's no more work that you can do. And so when we are able to eventually grow ourselves to a point when we have this high level of self-accountability, then we'll have self-trust. And so now that I do have self-trust, I know that, hey man, I'm writing down that tomorrow I'll be waking up, I'll be getting my running done, I'll be coming back, I'll be sending out the cold SMSs, I'll be making the cold calls. After that, I have at least 7 closing calls scheduled. I'll be making those things, I'll be getting those things on. And so I know that because every single time when I'm starting something, I'm either doing it the best way that I humanly possibly can, or I don't even start it. Meaning that anything that I start, I'm always trying to do it the most perfect way, the best way, the fullest way that I humanly potentially can. And so this is where self-trust is coming from. That I know that if I'm saying to myself something, if I'm telling to myself something, I'm doing that thing. And so if I do have that self-trust, that I'm not feeling lost, I'm not feeling depressed, I'm not feeling the need of, some kind of a, outside force to help me. Because I know that it is just an investment. How much work do I have to do in order for me to accomplish anything? That's it. And so from this point, you can just know that I don't need, I don't need some boohoo BS out there to, help me on the journey. I have myself. I'm good. I'm all here. I'm good to go. And so from this place, I can operate. I can operate properly. I can be the person who does things. And so when we do have that, we don't need luck. Of course we need the work, but we don't need anything else. That's the cornerstone. Look at and follow any biography of any super highly ultra successful person, and you will figure this thing out. Guys, love.